Hi, so what exactly do you mean by reordering a person in person or reordering a person at all? Illegal in most states. What does that mean? Um, Everyone I've grown up with has acted really clueless, or like they don't know what's going on until you find they're not very surprised, but you'll find no one is, and you'll find it's all about their age and sex, but not sexual intercourse, which means it's not labeled as homosexual, I guess. So let me see. I don't know what it took to post that comment to me. So, it sounds like you're a little lost because I was just asking about the orchestra. I'm not being smart. I don't know what state you would get an attitude like that from, but you won't get it in every state. I'm not acting smart saying, like, yeah, I know everyone's good at music, so I'm just gonna say it means something that I know anything about how music business works. There's a few key points, but I'm not interested. Is that pretty much it? I remember that I asked about sitting in the orchestra, even though I'm not ready to play in it, and working towards playing as solo at some times in the future, unless I leave and become a professional. And I did tell them I already majored in music, like the conductor and not the people in the orchestra. I don't know who would have. Does you have a band teacher in there? Which I think you do. And so I told them how I switched my instrument, and I told them how long I've been on the one I'm going to play, which is a long time so first I majored in music. That would have been right out of high school. And then I switched my instrument in 2016, which would be 9 years ago. Yeah. I'm still playing it. So, no questions. So you think I'm basically a professional level musician by now, maybe playing different instruments, which isn't even in band, and I don't even know if I told them it was the violin. Anyway, so you think I'm a professional level musician, and I'm telling someone else who majored in music, who chose conducting, who can probably play the piano but doesn't have to be able to play music at all, that I want to join the orchestra, which is a community orchestra for people who just do music on the side. And even professional orchestras that aren't state orchestras don't always sound good. And no one notices, actually. And the professional orchestras, so far, they sound more commercial. And, you know, they're like all gifted, like, oh, it's more classical. You have to major in Baroque. It's not going to fit in the college schedule. You have to get a Baroque instrument if you want to play in Germany or do anything there. And they do have people from other countries in their orchestras, but they're not probably the best, but they're probably just the same as everybody else. Maybe more advanced. But you know, maybe not. And so yeah, they're just playing Mozart, some weird names that might possibly stick out and not really be for the real choice. And I don't know what they do all day. I'm just gonna guess. Even though I've been in a community orchestra, it could be like going through a rehearsal for some other performance, except they take all day and don't sound better. So I'm guessing if they're there all day or practice, then, or whatever they do, I'm guessing they play through it. I'm guessing I take notes. I'm telling you, everybody doesn't take notes, especially not as much as me. And I go into all the, you know, get ready with plastic and everything, and everybody doesn't. They just bring their papers. Okay. They don't even staple them or whatever you do. I do that at home. So they don't even take notes sometimes. Maybe the professional ones do. Maybe it's not for the right reasons. So you have to remember some things technically, but it's not like they change the notes, I guess. I'm guessing. Or trying to remember. And then they see if you can play it, and they come up with ideas. They take away fun parts, I guess. Or they just get everyone to be able to do the music if they're really bad, which is not usually people who play instruments. So in that case, if you play an instrument, it's already professional because you're playing an instrument. Usually it's just the cello that seems like the real deal. Not as far as being the hero. They're still wondering if the flute is better than the violin, it seems. Maybe not in every orchestra, but I'm sure it's a worldwide sort of question. And so what else would they do? Oh yeah, they play it different every time. So the first time they go through it, they don't play well. I don't know about most people who started late, but I can't tell you how late I started doing stuff, but I don't know if it matters. It probably doesn't matter, but maybe it's harder if you start later. And then, but you know, you gotta be ready so you can progress, like with exercise. And everybody listens to music anyway, so what else would they do? So, they'll practice the notes. They'll call attention to certain instruments. Yeah, sometimes it's different groups. Like maybe there's about 2 groups usually, or 3. I don't know what more professional would do. More professional when you would come prepared. Like say if you're a soloist, and the orchestra is there for you. They expect you to be good. They also, if it's not about a worldwide standard, it's going to be about respecting that the musicians did it and not even the choir or the singer solos. And not all the time, but so they want the whole choir and the soloists to know it's just the orchestra that did it, because they play an instrument. They became a professional. Who knows what else? So that's what happens there with that group or whatever, I guess. What else would they do? Choirs, though, too, are probably similar. I don't know. I think I don't know about the professional ones. They're probably a nicer environment, but when you're there, you're going to be stuck, and hopefully you have a degree too. So in the choir, actually, they're very strict in the choirs. They yell. They get very mad at choirs. And they don't practice with the orchestra all the time. So anyway, in the orchestra, they don't get as mad because you play an instrument. They play really good if it's their favorite in an orchestra. They think that people in an orchestra like music and singers don't. So that's too bad, because everyone does karaoke and dancing. So, I don't know what they would do if a dancer was in the room, but I remember I was there. I felt like I got a lot of attention because a lot of the musicians were probably from up north. So they were actually taller when they sat down. Big bone, fat, typically. Smart, nice. They probably thought they had more experience in their instrument in either orchestra or whatever, I just don't know if they because they had it at school, because they had it at my school, I would have joined it. And I couldn't, I was trying to get voice lessons. I know, I guess that'd be more important, but, so I was already in piano and organ lessons. So anyway, too bad I didn't decide on violin yet. But I was gonna do it, It was a good thing the band teacher asked again or whatever. Yeah, I didn't do violin at first. I think I asked about it later, now that I remember. And my dad is just a big, whatever you call it, stickler for not doing anything later. And my mom telling us we don't have enough money. But every once in a while, I can do something when I least expect it. And if I come back, they never let me do it again. And then when I ask to do something a lot, it doesn't work out. Okay, so what else does the orchestra do? So yeah, basically the first time they go through it, they can't play it at all. They're studying the notes. But they have to go home, and then they come back and they can play it. Okay. So, someone might have taught them to practice. Actually, I was in band too. I actually did practice and get it down, but I didn't practice extra. So it's not an interesting experience to talk about. Anyway, I was in an orchestra later, actually the next year. Same instrument, and I was in one in 12th grade. The only thing was I didn't mess up. I played for a church with the youth choir, which wasn't very good, and I also didn't really mess up. So did anyone else mess up? Yeah, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, what else does the real orchestra do? I did mess up in one, but the thing was, I thought they would tell me in advance, or maybe I could just not play. And they asked me to do it to begin with. And I said yes, and they said it was too hard, and then maybe I felt guilty. But it was my dream. I don't know, I shouldn't have mattered I did it that young, but I ended up not doing it. I should have forgot about it. Too bad I didn't have a computer. I might have even remembered I didn't even want to play. So what else does the orchestra do? So yeah, basically then they go home and then I guess they can play it. I don't know, maybe the real version's better, but yeah. So I'm guessing each time it gets better. And I remember in the performance they looked better and maybe they played good. Like the one sitting in the front looked good, but they didn't look good during practice. That was the funny part. But I could never be that good. And this was in Orlando, Florida. They were skinny with brown hair, so people technically don't know if I'm a brunette, but it wouldn't matter. So what else does the orchestra do? They don't listen to the conductor, even though they're sitting right in front of them. So my thing was I used to watch the conductor like at church when they play the organ, piano, another old dream that I wanted to get over with. So I would watch them instead of follow along. And well, the way you get heard in a choir is to have a strong voice, which means you have to practice. So I don't know what happened to everybody else. I know a lot of people were belting out musical theater and then stopped, put it on the back burner, didn't do it again, and were ready to go back. So I have no. Oh yeah, I know. Classical singers don't always sing loud because they know it's bad for their voice to sing too loud, maybe. But my teachers always told me to sing loud, and it was an older lady, Teresa, either McCree or Macri or something. And I really miss her now. It's a weird experience. I thought I liked the younger one, who was probably born in the mid-40s. And then, yeah, so go to college for the music teachers. And they were older when I was there, a lot of them. And the younger ones were still hot. So it was a good experience. It was smart I went. I was just thinking about that. It was also good. I thought, okay, my professors are there. This is my life, so I have to wear the right clothes. So I did, and I there's only what was at the store because I've tried to make my clothes, and I'm not healthy enough. So I bought what was at the store. And it wasn't anything casual. Sometimes it was a little casual though. And it wasn't a suit either. Yeah, I would wear the 90s clothes, you know. Okay. So what else do they do in the orchestra all day? Oh yeah, and about their music choice. They just don't sound good, so I guess it could sound better, but I'm just wondering what they do all day. What else is funny? Not taking notes, going home and playing better, but not playing good the first day and not at all the first go through. I don't get that. I mean, after all, it's only one note. I never even thought of that. Okay, so don't talk about the pianist. They must all start really young, or maybe start with the piano. I don't know. Maybe not, but maybe they just stick with it and have fun because they did in a band instrument. And then, so what else they do? They go through the sections. I wonder how long all that takes. So first they might start maybe a minute late, or maybe he'll talk for 5 or 10 minutes, and then it won't be about music. It won't be about getting to know each other or having a little bit of fun. So I don't know what it is. Anyway, and then, well, they're not there to waste time with working adults, I guess, but everyone has fun at work though. So, and then after that, I guess they don't all take notes. So the kind of notes they would take is sometimes they would actually change things like the volume, or they might change it a few times and go through it. Oh yeah, so you play it, so that takes up a lot of the time too. And then you hear maybe there's a few solos. They probably don't even practice. Okay, bye for now.